Infinite Jest, pages 30, or about, let's see, or 32 basically through about 40. Not really much, all that happens. It's really, really weird because it does like all these, like in each chapter, each part, they have like these little mini chapters. And so this one is called May 9, Year of the Depend Adult Undergarment. And it basically just describes Hal waking up in like his dormitory at like the crack of dawn kind of thing. It does like, it starts off with another way fathers impact sons is that sons, once their voices have changed in puberty, invariably answer the telephone with the same locutions and intonations as their fathers. So it's kind of, I think it might be like seeding the idea for something further to come, or maybe that we find out more about like the father as it comes. And then the next little mini chapter is on like the next page. It's called The Year of the Depend Adult Undergarment, and it's about a half-ethnic Arab and Canadian by birth resident, a medical attaché, nevertheless, once again, under Saudi diplomatic immunity. So he's like he helps with the Saudi, maybe like ambassadors or something like that. And he's basically like he works with like the Saudi minister of home entertainment, physician, that kind of stuff. And it goes on for a few pages about how, about the different places that they live and how, the wife typically always has like dinner home and it's ready and this is exactly how it is. And the medical attaché always just comes home, dinner's ready, he sits down, he eats, she prepares everything, basically, puts the food right in front of him. It's always ready. There's always exactly what he wants up on the TV in front of it. And it happens to be Wednesday night, which means that she goes and participates in, one of these like westernized hobbies, and that just happens to be, going to go play tennis. So that'll probably loop back in at some point. And so he's kind of rummaging around, like looking for what the hell to watch. And he looks through like different VHS tapes and stuff like that. And then it just doesn't really, go too much, but basically he ends up just kind of eating something and kind of, like falling asleep. He settles in with the tray and the cartridge, the video, and the viewer's digital display reads 1927, so it's, like 7:30-ish? Yeah, right about there. And then this last part was really, really difficult to read because it went on for about 3 pages, and the whole thing is written from like a southern, like it doesn't tell you exactly when, but it starts off, it's called Year of the Trial-Sized Dove Bar. And so it starts off with, Wardine say her mama ain't treat her right. Reginald came around to my blacktop at my building where me and Dolores Epps jump double dutch, and he say, Clonette, Wardine be down at my crib every day, say her mama ain't treat her right. And I go to the Reginald with this building where he live at, and Wardine be sit deep far back in a closet with Reginald and crib, and she be cry. And so it's like 3 pages of the way that it's written in this like very, very broken, I don't want to say broken English because I don't think that's necessarily the right way, but like for lack of better words, like a deep like southern like poverty sense to it. And so it's basically saying how this girl like Wardine is, not getting treated right. Mom seems to be some type of like a drug addict or something along those lines. But like, the whole thing is just really, really written very, very strangely. And it's talking about basically like just the borderline abject poverty of what's happening, and that, one person thinks it's going to kill another person, and but they still have like this child, and that's basically kind of how it goes on. So that's what goes on for basically 3 pages. So let me jump into the words that I ended up having to look up because some of these were pretty fun. So one was legation, a diplomatic minister, especially one below the rank of ambassador and their staff. So that'd be like the medical attaché we talked about. Apposite, APPOSITE, apt in the circumstances or in relation of something. The next one, retinue, a group of advisors, assistants, or others accompanying an important person. So you can kind of figure out like where all these ones pretty much came from. Non-pyreal, having no match or equal. An unrivaled, or as an adjective, or as a noun, an unrivaled or matchless person or thing. And then the next one was flaxen, Flaxen. And it's basically, it's kind of talking about how like a pale yellow color of hair, a pale yellowish gray color of straw or unspun dressed flax. And then the last one was anfractuous, sinuous or circuitous. The line of gold extends and becomes anfractuous. So those are the words. We're going to find out what happens in these next 10 pages. It is really interesting.